But I got my router bits. So these bits cut up, which brings the material out of the joint. So going to be doing a side one here and here, blah, blah, blah. These are like $70. Just not happy about that, but these are the metric sizes. And then I got the dominoes. On Saturday, got these. I don't know why I thought 4mm, 20mm was going to be a good size. That doesn't quite do it for me. So I got 4 to 10mm. I got some 10mm ones. Now these got some size. They're probably too big because I think I need to get it right into this piece here. So I'm probably going to use the 8x40. Yes, and then I'll put, so there'll be like 2 here, blah, blah, blah. So maybe tomorrow, maybe it'll rain tomorrow and I'll go ahead and do that. That will get this together quite well. Still can't believe how heavy duty a box they sent that in. So then this is my heatilator. They're radiant heat panels that I'm going to use for baking those with clear powder coat, which I'm getting close to doing. I need to get that going because it's going to be basically like 20 minutes per side. There's 40 of these, so just be spray, do, go, so, and repeat. It's gonna stink. I'm gonna do that, so hopefully I can open up the windows here and just kind of let it waft outside. I got 2 windows here, and then I got a fan there, and the window there I never use, but the fan will just, hey, evening. I'm on my own for dinner, so we're gonna do Taco Bell, but I'm realized I haven't changed my oil in 4,000 miles, so I'm trying to keep away from the 10 and go more for the 4 or 5. So got that draining. I'm gonna take the empty one with the truck, but I got rocks a couple days ago with my wife and some free rocks, and I'm just power washing these and then, you know, do what you do with rocks, stacking them over here. So I got several projects. The squirrels have decided that they want to get in the garage. They realize now that they can get in the garage. You know, they're opening up the bird feed and feeding themselves. So got the old bucket out, trash can. It's just a little moldy. I haven't been using it because it was really bad. And by really bad, I mean left a stain bad. So I power washed this, put some bleach in there. We'll let that soak a little bit, wash it again, then let it dry overnight, put those bags in there because, you know, they're already getting up bird seed. So that's tonight's activity. Flat rocks were in a pond feature that they decided they didn't want. So I'm just like taking them and pressure washing the green shit out in the dirt. So give you an idea. So that looks like that now. Since I got them all here, I figured I might as well just do them. And I probably need to go around my yard and pressure wash every day, but that looks a lot more impressive with the pink and all. Sides of the hind part, so rocks are clean. That's a big flat one. Like that one, like that one. It's really nice when it's wet. Granite, can always use granite. And this pink one's got a cool flat stone. This one reminds me of Ohio, so I call that Ohio stone. There's a lot of flat rocks here and a couple round rocks. There's also a bucket of really nice hand size, good for throwing through window size rocks over here. That they had in the stream bed. Those are fancy. And we use them over there. So yeah, got myself a nice little redneck swimming pool here. We go for a drive. Apparently I don't have a filter oil for my car. It's just a paper filter you put in. I got Z3s, got volts, 4 volts, 2 BMW motorcycles. So I need to change oil if you don't ride it, right? And then a Subaru one, which I do now have, but I don't have an oil filter, so I guess I'm gonna have to go get one, and I think we'll take some Earl with us, some used Earl. There it is. The biggest. What's your name? Is it Fly? Is it Butterfly? I find myself at the old place where I started in '95. This is probably the best artwork in the building. I remember him doing it in '97, so that was kind of cool. I had to help somebody set up a third-party device on one of our CT scanners, and I'm uncrating the kitten scanner, which I'm going to throw in the back of my truck. Kitten scanner is a demo scanner they use to teach kids how a CT works, so they don't freak out when they're getting scanned. It's got Chris the alligator as one of the characters, so that's cool. Reading this earlier, but that's the kitten scanner, and well, the crate weighs a lot. This guy doesn't weigh much. Then we got the boxes, monitors, and then the board where the animals sit. So there's Dora. She's a chicken. He's an alligator. And I forget what the third character, an elephant. But I got to break this down. Being overly built, they're stainless steel Torx screws. So I might be keeping those for our personal use. But I told the guy I'd break down the crate so at least it could be discarded a lot easier. Or maybe I take the wood, I don't know, because I need more wood. No, I don't. But it's good wood. I got a scanner in and got some pretty good plywood. Some Velcro-based strapping. Some pretty nice hooks and material. Yeah, that's where I need more wood. Pretty darn good collection of screws. And there's some more. Yeah. So yeah, went to close the door, and so the sliding patio or the screen door goes over there. Kless wasps bring it over there. And while you're holding your dog, they sting you. Ask me how I know. Well, you can't really tell, but that's not supposed to be swollen like that. It's right there. Anyhow, so we're gonna be spraying it, which means she's gonna be freaking the fuck out, because God forbid I spray anything. But I don't mess around with those guys. Well, yep. I mean, we're in Dayton, right? So gotta go to Buc-ee's, try it out. Yep. This should be interesting. Well, man, you got the pulled pork, you got sweets, clothing, Americana accessories, lots of candy, drinks, feathers, lots of stuff. It's crowded like this, and it's almost 10:30 at night. Nope. What a big spender buy. I bought a bag for my wife, a little Bucky bag. It's got nylon at the top, straps, thinking brisket. Ooh, that was expensive. And some beaver nuggets. Unfortunately, almost everything in here has corn in it. So I can't buy much for my wife, but those are all the filling things. Saturday morning, 7:30, I'm off to the Home Depot. We're gonna get supplies, so I probably didn't mention it, but this weekend is called Rewire and Add Outlets and Switches to Mary Catherine's Kitchen. So this is a house built probably in the 40s or 50s, so it's gonna be interesting. It's a one-story, so the attic is right above, so most of the wiring is gonna go from the circuit box that was moved yesterday to over the yeah, you'll see. It's gonna be a challenge, but we identified where things go, boxes and stuff. I got numbers. Well, she does. She's in Indiana. That's a whole other story, I guess. So yeah, I got a basic counter wiring. So my goal this weekend is to get all the rough wiring in. So that means you can put up the drywall. The boxes are all wired. The switches are wired, but they're not actually connected to any devices. You usually wait till after you paint to do all that. I'm gonna have to get some circuit breakers because we're adding a bunch of 20 amp circuits. So once I get materials, then I'm going back and then we're gonna dismantle the existing electrical. So basically finding out which breakers which, pulling back wires. I do suspect some tomfoolery, meaning I'll find out that the shared circuit for this is that, and it goes to another part of our house, and then I gotta figure out how to deal with that. But you know, that's a later problem that's gonna come up fairly quickly. So hopefully I'm on the road Sunday. Preferably Sunday, not Sunday night, and going home. Lots of corn here. That's why we saw Buc-ee's last night.
Ironically, randomly, there's Buc-ee's again. Quite sure what happened, but they just dumped a pallet of tile that made my truck move 2 inches down into the bed. I guess this is for her kitchen. Hopefully she'll...
Tons this ways, but I can barely pick that up. Jesus fucking Christ. I can get this out of my truck before my truck falls over. Electricians had fun. We'll just take the bricks out. I assume they're coming back to fix that. That's a good angle there. So the other thing I just realized is their internet, fiber internet, comes to there. They trenched from over there maybe and then brought it over here. It comes out and it's right in her fucking kitchen. So it's got the adapter and then she's got a wireless going from there. I don't know why they chose here. I would have chose like that room instead. I don't know if we can move that, but it's like right there. So what are our challenges today? So yeah, so it's got all this, which is gonna have cabinets here. So yeah, this powers half the house. It does that light switch over there. One outlet outdoors. I think I'm going to leave that alone. This one over here does the outlets over here and outlets over here. So I think I do that. That one's on a separate circuit. That one goes on the other side and this one goes on this side. So I'm going to have a fun time to figure out what goes to what. Now I'm sure a lot of it goes up to those because they have displaced things. Kind of want to get away from this. Kind of like this better. Jesus Christ. Yeah, that's good. I did recommend foam here for the entire wall, but the other challenges which we've overcome is this wall is a 2.5 inch stud. Yeah, 2.5 inches. It's a 2x4, and this is where the cabinet's gonna be. We're gonna put OSB on the outside, so cool. Okay, I gotta get going. I haven't done anything but figuring out what the fuck's going on. Does lights. And it does that outlet too, because it just turned the charger off. So that's great. I was gonna move the refrigerator there and plug it into there. But that's plugged into here, which is on this other switch. So cool. I didn't realize the attic slopes down. So I had to get on my hands and knees and go across the studs. And then the rafters are this way. Then right around here, I started going that way. So I had to find the rafter and kind of climb over. But we got the wire. So we're pulling the wire up here. It's going to take care of all these outlets, 20 amp. And then I got to the other side of this wall here where the roof is not as fun, but at least I got access from that side where I can almost stand up. Got to get over there, but I needed a little breather. So these masks TP on and our flashlight, and yeah, we're gonna be taking a shower. Fun place. So I mean, at first you get a little squirrel debris, whatever. Then you go over the little threshold here. Can't stand up all the way, but you can hunch over. Then you got some boards, some insulation. I find it's best if you roll it out. Whoop. Okay, right about here, we switched these planks. This is 23 inches on center. I don't know what that is. Well, I know what that is. That's an antenna. Why it's here, I don't know. Okay. So I need to get the wire to that hole there.
from there. So I think if I go this way, I can kind of grab it and then, yeah, something like that. But we got this heating laid in, and then the flooring completely ends here. So yeah, okay.
We got a wire sticking out there. Used one of the old holes for the old panel. The panel used to be on the other side of that 2x4. They moved that. Now it goes up and around and comes out over here. We established that's going to be the line for the outlets. She wanted them up a little bit higher because this is a working dog area. That way every time she plugs something in, she doesn't have to bend over all the way. I just suggested we make them all the same height, which we can. It's staying away from the window, so you can plug it in with barely bending over. It's cool. So and then we're gonna feed is there, and then it's gonna go and that way. So we'll just kind of cross around, and then I'm just going to carry it over here. So there's one outlet here. Over here, we're going to put 2 on its own circuit at 20 amp. Small. Big. Yeah, so there's still a few cables up there. I'm going to use the existing holes for the 2. So we're going to have one feeding the outlets on this side and one feeding the outlets. They're going to be up above. And we'll do the same thing with self-leveling laser that I got for like $5 at garage sale. We're in the battery store. How can you complain about that? We came back up for some more fun. So that's where the box is. Boy, it's getting hot up here. And over there is where the wire is. So I just need to pull it across there. I think, again, I'm going to stand there, grab, shove. And okay, so we got outlet, jumper to outlet, jumper to outlet, jumper to outlet, jumper to outlet. This goes back to circuit box. So this room's done. This one here is going to feed an outlet here on this side. This is going to feed the outlets on this one. I got to pull another one here for the microwave. Microwave is going to have a dedicated 20. Everything goes back over there. So we're a third done. Of course, that room's going to be a little more complicated. Here, when you can't breathe because your mask is full of water and sweat, you put them out here to dry. What the hell? Oh, the helpers are here. Who wants to go up the ladder? Sent her out to get 4 knockouts, some nailing plates that you do where you have a wire kind of like up here, so you don't want to nail the wire, so you put a piece of metal there to prevent you from doing it, and something else, I forget. Anyhow, laser's been very handy for setting out the height of the lines. Nobody likes it when they're all off. They just need to be the same in the general area. Nobody's going to measure it, but it's nice that they're all aligned. So this is going to be, well, I just ran this, and then this is going to go over here, and then I'm going to put an indeterminate amount. She wants an outlet over here. There's going to be an island here of some sort, so they're wired there to remind me to pass wire through. The next thing is going to be a pendant light. Switch here, lights over here. So I'm going to run the power out to there, and I'm running this up to about there, because I'm just going to switch out. Use the box here and switch the black here instead of running the power all the way over here into the box, which is already a small box, and then back up. Had to go with the small boxes because we're a little bit depth, not a lot of depth. So the bigger the box are easier to work at because it's easier to shove the wire in there. Fortunately, this is white wire, which is easier to bend because it's not as thick as the 20 amp stuff. So that's my next foray into the attic. I realized originally, when I was driving down here, I thought that maybe we'd run some conduit up there. But even if you had conduit, you're in no man's land. I mean, they had to make a hole here. So instead, I'm going to run a 20 amp and just attach it to a rafter up here. So in the future, she's got some expandability. She's got power in the attic because everything pretty much comes from the attic. Nothing comes to the floor. One area that she did ask me to do that we didn't know or she forgot about was... because we really didn't have drawings for this room. She wants to put a light out here that's switched here. So, I think this is a no man's land, meaning climbing wise, it's a pain in the ass. Serious pain in the ass. But we got some options here. Big old fucking hole there. So when she gets back, we'll just run the fish line that way. I will drag the line out to there, tape it, and then pull it through here. Wish I'd thought of that over here, but for some reason, I thought that the roof line,
you know, the top of the roof here continued all the way over to here, but it doesn't. It ends there. So, okay. And it was just like, oh, just grab the wire. Oh, it's an inch by inch kind of thing to get to the wire. Oh, you're not supposed to go outside. There's one big Maine cat. So, we got that one. Need to add this one on there. Maybe I'll do that one next. This one is, however, live, so that's good. We're adding another switch here and up there. Probably a good time when I'm over here to be doing that. Yeah, and then, so we got this. Today's lighting day. This. Over here, she wants a 4-wire to the fan unit. But it's also a 3-way for the lighting part. So we're gonna do, what are we doing? We're doing fan on one, lighting on the other. So when you walk in the garage, you can turn the light on, and you can turn the light on there, and you can have the light control here, and turn the light on. So, and then I think she forgot. No, she didn't. So switch light fan and recessed light. Problem here is going to be, well, one, getting the box in. The box doesn't even physically fit in there. 2, I'm going to have to notch out where that screw goes in there. It's going to be a lot of wires, which is why I have some purple. So purple, or blue. This has got 4 wires, so we'll do a light and a fan switch. The switching is yet to be determined, but so I'm going to have to run that, and I think I'm going to have to run this. This one, however, should be miserable. It's an outside wall, so at least it should be normal studs, not 2.5-inch studs. But hopefully I can just go up. Although they have been consistent on nailing this cloth stuff. So I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe I'm punching a hole in the wall. This is the cloth stuff. This is like really old cloth. I call it Romex, but it's not. But yeah, they made these little clips here. Maybe they bought those. So yeah, that's another one. And then we're adding a switch here for something, I forget which, but we got a fair amount of room. You can see there's already a lot of power. So it looks like the power for the lights is really over here for that light there. It's a 3-way. So we got some mysteries here, and it's in no man's land too, so that's great. I guess it goes up there. I'm trying to leave so I'm wiring this out, so I switch right over around the corner, and got a little cat helper. Yeah, I need to pull that out. We'll deal with that later, okay? This is almost done. So there's a desire to have a task light in this little closet area over here. So there was a box here. It had this wire and this wire. There's another wire here that wasn't used at all. The original wire went up to the light fixture. When they did the fan, because maybe they didn't realize there was 3 wires here. One could do light with fan and then ground and hot or neutral. They just pulled a new line. So once we removed the old one that wasn't going anywhere, that had just been clipped off, we were able to feed the new line. So this is going to be, there's a whole bunch up there for in here when that's completed. Then I had to rewire this. So this turns the light on, it's off right now, and then this turns the fan control on. So that's all this. And this is the power feed. So I'm gonna just tuck all this back in and call it a day for that. Although she's gonna have to take that off when she drywalls. It is what it is. This fed off the bathroom circuit, the hallway circuit, so she really needs it on while she's in here. But it does work for now. But to put the drywall up, you gotta take these out. Status time. So that room is finally done a second time. These are the nailers that I had her buy to prevent you from piercing, especially when you have a 2.5-inch stud, because your screws are supposed to go like in an inch. This is an outlet that's wired in. This is a switch and an outlet. Doesn't look straight, but this is run up there. I've decided that all the lights
I'm gonna run one line up to a box, and then I'm gonna feed all those up. So basically, this is just a switch. It's not gonna get power from there, it's just a switch. This is just gonna be 2 switches. Again, they're gonna go up there. And then everything will be wired. So I need to flip this over there. Of course, this is live, so I wanna turn that off. Rip this cloth Romex off. And okay, so I need to do this. That one's done. That's outlet, that's done. This is done. That's the light switch up here. Again, this is just gonna switch, leaving me pretty much this, and this. And that's, yeah, we'll leave that for later. Oh, the good thing is, if I do what I do, this existing circuit's great. I could rip that out, but it's also tied over there, and I don't want to rip that out. That outlet is tied to the lighting circuit, why they did that there. So right now, that one circuit only drives this, this, and this. It used to drive this, and other things. May drive that right now, but we're gonna pull a new field for that. Why is that light still on? No, it is on. There we go. That turns this on. No, it's still off. It just waited a while to turn on. I'm looking at the Milwaukee. Okay, so this one controls that. Yeah. Wait. Is that also the bathroom? No, the bathroom's this one. Okay. That's the one we're gonna do. Anyhow, point being is that one's not, that's on the lighting circuit. So I'm gonna abandon everything on that one except for that. And everything else will be fed from a new circuit up above. Little accident. So I was crawling to get that wire and I might have put my knee through there. My knee slipped off of that gas line, which is about there, being round, and it just slipped right off. And so that's not, no, it slipped off the 2x4. Anyhow, it's a little new Ingress. But this one will be easy because it's over there. And that's allowed to walk. In this double bang, there was a single gang here before. Now we're putting a double. Unfortunately, I had to do some weight reduction here because the Monday morning, I have today off, which is mostly recovery day from this weekend. I think I'm gonna soak this in a little OxyClean before I try to wash it. That was white, and that's a little dirty. The Carhartt shorts, ironically, the crap being the same color, don't look as bad, but I assure you, they're dirty. Don't worry. Went to cut the grass, and apparently when I stopped cutting it the last time, I forgot to eject the battery. I got a problem where the unit doesn't turn off, like it stays electronic out, and so it will last for 2 or 3 days, but now it's discharged the battery so much, battery won't charge. And those Ergo batteries are not cheap. They're like $200, so I gotta go upstairs and tear it apart and charge each individual cells. It's 56 volts combined, so there's some math there. I don't know what it really is unit-wise, but it won't charge if it sees less than 40 volts, which I'm sure it is, because the thing just would discharge all the way. There is a light on there, but it's not the light that stays on. I don't know why. It's supposed to automatically turn off. Maybe leaving outside for 2 years didn't help. The date of manufacture is 2018, so I think I've had this for a few years. Not that I want to replace it. So yeah, I did unpack all my tools and clean them up. So later today, we're gonna play dismantle. But the first thing, I got to change the jack pump over for my car lift, because the $800 jack doesn't go up under load, and they sent me a new pump. Sent it in a bag that leaked, so there's like the box is all oily, which is great. So this is my lawnmower battery. I paid $400 in 2018 for it, and the new ones are $325. They got some generic ones from the Amazon for $80, but it wouldn't come till tomorrow. Opening it up, of course, it has to have that security bit, enhance the little nub in the middle, which took me 15 minutes to find out that I had it
in my Wera kit, which is good because I couldn't find any others. Seeing rust in here is probably not a good sign. Looks like I got to get these out. Unfortunately, these are way down there. But I should be able to get those out, and let's see what we find. The battery won't charge. The battery charger won't charge the 56-volt battery if it's not above 40 volts. So maybe I can, well, let me open it up. Let's summarize this, but basically that's the old pump, no, the new pump, and the fitting that goes in there is metric, and it doesn't fit the old one. So the old one, yeah, I showed you, it was much bigger. So I sent him pictures. We'll see what he comes up with, but I don't really feel like running around for the next 6 months looking for metric fittings. Very hard to find metric fittings in the United States, so that's great. This was blocking that ladder, which is blocking getting the starter fluid to start the lawnmower, so I cut the grass. So we're taking this apart. I like these boards. Are they perfect? No, but they're good pine boards for making shelves or something. I'm in the basement looking for 48-volt power supply. I couldn't find any. Then I'm looking at the laptop ones, thinking, oh, those must be 24. No, they're 19. And then I remembered power over Ethernet plus. So this is power over Ethernet plus. And looked on the interwebs, and what it does is it takes of the 8 wires, it takes the orange ones and the blue ones, and it puts voltage over those two. So we're gonna try that in a few moments. So far, I'm not impressed. And I might have those backwards. I don't know. Light's blue. Should have some voltage. Maybe they lied to me on the internet. Bastards. Fuckers. So I'm Googling it, and this isn't gonna work because unless you have the digital signal on the D, it ain't gonna charge. So yeah, great. So we're gonna have to go bypass the charging circuit and go directly to the battery, which we can because we just have to expose the bottom or the top, wherever the connectors are. But I got the 2 wires wrapped around the actual battery contacts. This was 36 volts before, and as it sits on there, it's going to charge. So if we push our thing down there and we push our thing down there, we now have 37. I'm just going to let this sit. Got to get to above 40. So hopefully this does the trick, and the water in there is not doing anything. I'm going to have to pull these cables a little tight. They're just barely touching, or maybe if I just pull on them slightly. I could tell when it was charging because when it wasn't connected, because the voltage would be 48. When it connects, it's slower than 48. Sit for about an hour. I got the cables just pulling down there. Yeah, well, this should work. Weird. My daughter brought home a cat that was at the pool, and it's been in my garage for 2 weeks, and you know, likes food, likes to poop. But you see, if I let the door go, you don't want to leave. So I assume it knows it's got a good gig. I gotta make a doctor's appointment to get her checked out. I'm afraid to have her socialize a lot with the other animals. Well, the dogs are okay, but the kitties. I did give her deworming. Her diarrhea dissipated, so I assume she had worms. She was at least at the pool house for 2 weeks. Nobody claimed her. He was really thin. I should say he because he is a he. He's gonna get clipped though. But for now, I'm calling Kyle Cat because I think Kyle should have it. Going dead. So what I'm doing is I've got my injector connected, but I've taken the battery off. Just kind of pissed it off, and I've set it to amps, which is how much current is coming through. And I'm going to turn the power to negative, connecting the negative, and flowing through here, and it's 0.2 amps. Now, according to the interwebs, it should be 0.04 amps. So there's definitely something drawing more power 24/7, engine on or off. So we're going to leave the battery charger on there because it was a low voltage, it was 13.2, now it's 12.5. So we're going to let that charge. Meanwhile, what I think I can do is I can just go directly to the items. Like, I don't know if this is a valid way. So I'm getting 0.04. 0.04. Trying to see what's taking up the power here? Now, I'm gonna have to Google on this because I'm not sure what I need to do. Because I've got this off, maybe I need to take the positive off. Yes, because these are positive. But anyhow, this test is good because it is showing me that we got a parasite here. The engine's off. Now, I've checked everything. The doors are closed. You know, radio's off, at least that I know of. It is going to draw a little bit of current. The cars will always have some when they're on, but not that much. So dig some deeper. I understand how this is working, but right now I'm able to make the horn go by hitting the thing. So I'm not missing something here. Yeah, gotta Google this. I don't need to make the horn work. I need to find out what the horn is drawing right now. And that ain't working quite the way I want it to. Let's see what I'm supposed to do. I'm supposed to keep that engaged after 20 minutes and let the car goes down to low idle or low use, and then start pulling fuses until that value changes. That makes more sense. I got my fancy power probe. What it basically is, I can put on that tip, I can put positive or I can put negative. I can inject power, so to speak, and I was getting confused on that. I just need to monitor the power and then pull the fuses and see which one goes away. But I'm gonna let this, oh fuck, what are we gonna do? I'm not very happy with this thing. I never know what it's doing. That's engine start. That's a lot of current for a little while. Can't check the alternator now. 12.4. Okay, so it is slowly charging. It's all over the place today. Yeah, this is working. I got almost 41 volts, so I'm just gonna let her keep charging and let her go. Can't be drawing a lot of amps off these little wires, but it is working. Hope that's all I need to do. Again, $325 a new battery. Not gonna happen. It's good, but at least the button does something now when I press it. So we're gonna go try and charge it. It was up to 39 volts. I think it was above, I don't know what it was, but we'll give it a go. We got success here because it's actually charging now. Yeah. Well, I think I'm gonna buy a generic $80 battery and start swapping this. But, clearly don't let it sit and undercharge. A 10-hour thing. So I bought this kit of jigsaw blades a while ago, and it's got 30 pieces in there. But you know, as soon as you take it out of the case, it's all gonna be gone. Now they give this crappy little bag here. So what did I do? I printed via 3D printer. I mean, it looks like it came that way. Yep, a case. So this is the top that I printed last overnight. And then today, while I was at work, I printed this. So, let's see what we got here. See, it took a while. Oh. No, it printed okay. So take that out, and because this is flexible, we just kind of, here she falls over. These are the supports. These all just come right out. Probably something really important I could do with that. Keep it there for now, and voila. So I assume this is supposed to be like, yeah, I just take these and swap them over. It's got some extra spaces too, so we'll go ahead and do that. It's a little stiff, but yeah, it'll work. I have a way of holding the damn things, because as you get older, storage is more important sometimes than what's inside. Because if you can't find it, doesn't matter how good. Thursday night's my weekly night to do the trash. So I emptied all the kitty litters and recycling, blah, blah, blah. I got that trash can, it's full of water. Probably because it sits outside in water. So I finished changing the oil a second time on this because I put the wrong kind of oil in the first time. I put 520, 530, I don't know what I put in, but I got the right 020 in there now. It needed a flush, I guess. There's only 5 quarts on like that 16, so that would be a bad thing to have to do that on. Gonna scoot this underneath there, but first I'm gonna move some of the school stuff. She says she's ready to, they think she's ready to drive, but she has to get checked out by her doctor. I don't know what the doctor's gonna do.
The guy, the physical therapist, should have been able to make that determination, but whatevs. And then start going to school. So I'm gonna start at least taking the pile that's back there, bring it forward. Then I think I can push this back and start reaching some of that stuff. So I'm just gonna make piles. I also got to rearrange this a little bit. This was done because I can't get back there to put the wood back there. So hopefully some of this will start disappearing. I did contact the pump, the manufacturer, the people I bought this from, not manufacturer, and they sent me the wrong thing, which, you know, they still haven't replied to my email, which makes me super pissed because I paid $4,000 for this. So it'd be nice if that happened. Did manage to bend the shit out of that because I was raising it. I didn't realize the car was there and it started doing this kind of thing. So we bend it back a little bit. That's great. Aluminum loves to be bent. No. And in fact, you bend it twice and it breaks in the second time. So that's great. These are spare boxes I was assembling for my new tubes and tires. But this is the old one. And yeah, you can see, you know, they're quite different. So in fact, one is about as wide as that. I've ordered some new ones that are a little more expensive. I was a little annoyed. I went to two places, and the first place when I hit buy and I'm almost ready to hit, you know, do it, I noticed the $17 handling fee clopped on there. So I went to another site, same tire manufacturer. It's a Chinesian version of this, and sure enough, after I'm completed, there's a $17 fee. So I think it's the same shell company, you know, like different websites, but the same company. I don't know, it's really pissed me off, but at that point I'm like, fuck it. They are going to come tomorrow. They're FedExing them. It was $50. The real one is $120 for one. Now, why did I get two? Well, you probably need to replace two, but also they're slightly different size. Very similar to this, but not the exact same height. So I'll be going in circles. Whether or not I take this with me and try and do it there, I don't know, because I don't have one of those there. Should have one of those there, but I don't have one of those there. So it's kind of, this makes the job less horrible. Still not fun, but at least you're holding the wheel down. Though I think I could put the thing on its side and do similar work. Just don't take the wheel off. But we'll see. Friday morning and waiting to get into it. Estate sale doesn't open up for another 5 minutes. This is cute. We got a bug back there. Honda. Good patina. She needs some of that shine juice that Vice Script Garage. People mean when they said they came packaged minimally and that they had to wait for them to like expand like a mattress. Oh, look at that. He did come out. Left the door open, let him go around the garage a little bit. Get sea legs on. Put a new valve stem, a new used one in there. Try not to do it with the tube for a couple reasons. One of which that tube's flat, and they didn't send tubes with this. I didn't realize they weren't going to. This is the tubeless wheel rim. So the only problem now is I got to get it to seat. As you can see, it's a considerable distance here. It's not going to seat very well. So I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do this. I did take the valve seat out so I can move as much air as possible. So this should be fun. No, got it on there. I used the tube, but you can see it's on the bead. Leaks because there's a hole in there, and all my patch kits are all effed up. All the glue's dried. I haven't patched a tire in years, so I'm going to take this off. Try not to reseat the bead down here. Maybe I can get this bead off. So I'm going to also put a, see how that's all bent up? I'm going to put this strap around there, trying to skish it into place. So I got to pop it off the bead here, ironically, because that's what I just got it on. At least the bottom one's on, and then so if we get the tube out, then I've got another valve stem somewhere around here. Hope I didn't lose it. I think I got these off the truck when I was getting rid of the wheels, because I scrapped the wheels because they were rusty shit. That didn't work. Tried to pull the valve stem through and it broke off instead of coming through. Probably because it's, I don't know, 10 years old, 8 years old, who knows. So I'm going to leave this on overnight, trying to get the radius out. It's not supposed to be like that. And And I guess I'm gonna go see if I can get another valve stem. Maybe I can get one at the local store. But you're gonna see, assuming these are the same size, that one's quite sticky outy. It's supposed to be flat at the bottom, not curved like that. Like that. So yeah. Maybe I'll get a tube. I have another tube. I don't know if I brought it to the campsite or if it's in here. I kind of blocked myself in because I can't really get over there very easily and look. And I got stuff back here, and I don't think it's over here. I went through most of that yesterday. Just trying to organize and getting rid of the packaging. But I give this to a friend of Joe's that does a lot of eBay selling. So I recycle that by giving it to her to use. Could be up there, might not be. Yeah, so, yeah. Well, I got the new valve stem on there. I got the smaller size, and that was fun. I ended up using this valve tool, so I threaded on there, then it allowed me to grab it and pull it through. Still couldn't get that fucking thing to seat the bead. Would not do it. So I did the old, pour some starting fluid in there and light it, and sure enough, boom, it went. These tires, I think, are a copy of the Carlisle tire that's $120. Because it even has the 8 NHS Turf Mate Simber Tread. I don't know what NHS means. Not for highway services. That'd be my guess at this point. What do we got here? We got 20 pounds. Max load to 42 pounds. So we'll put 30 in there. Well, once I had the right valve seat on there and I got the bottom seated, that went right on. Oh boy. I didn't find the hole. I didn't find the thing that made the hole in there, but it was on the tread, so that's great. At least there's a little more tread here. Not that this is worn, but definitely is cracked. So I have a feeling I'm going to be bringing home the other wheel and doing the same thing next week, but an extra valve stem. It was fun to light it on fire. It's not as wide. I mean, $250. That's a good example of the crack.